I said hi to Rodney.
Oh, hey, we're live, boys. Welcome, America, to the Eric and Rodney Show with Robin, presented by Offensively Creative and Dinsmore Steel. I'm America's sweetheart, Eric Ryan. I own Offensively Creative. We have Rod. He's the PEO god, and he owns Dinsmore Steel. We have the thriller from Manila, Robin Valdez. And ladies and gentlemen, very special guest today, the co-founder and owner, I suppose, of Bravebird, Alex Miranda. Welcome to the show.
Welcome, Alex. Welcome.
Ooh, yeah, nice.
In fact, you are a brave bird to be here.
Oh, there. Oh God.
I like the name.
Oh, thanks, Rodney. Appreciate it.
It's a good name. I don't know if you. I did a deep dive into Alex last night. He wasn't there.
He always does.
I always do. But you were a child actor. You've hung out with Chuck Norris.
Oh wow, you went deep, huh?
I went way deep into Alex. That's the way I like to go. I don't fuck around. But before we get to that, we like to cover the news here on the Eric and Rodney Show with Robin. But before that, I don't know if you know this about this country, but every day is a day, a reason to celebrate. Every day gets a thing. Today's thing, though, actually, it's two things. One's going to bring us all down. Today's National Sobriety Day, which I gotta tell you, something that I do not celebrate. There you go. Drinking that's an early. I don't like being sober. I think there's a time and a place for sobriety. Generally when you're at work, when you're driving, when you're at soccer practice, but a certain part of the day, sobriety has to go away. And that's my favorite part of the day. So this is, I don't know, this doesn't do it for me. Are any of us sober here? I mean, now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So the three of us are sober.
Yeah, so I'm drinking coffee, by the way, just to wake up.
Sure.
Sober and exhausted. Sober and exhausted.
That's true.
Hey, Melissa, it's been a while. Welcome. I
know
you're
it's like it's like that saying, right? There's always a time and a place for decaf coffee. You know when that is? Never in the trash.
And I got twin boys, so sobriety sounds really hard now.
It sounds very difficult, right? I think it was Churchill. I think Churchill said everything, but
I haven't been awake without caffeine for like 4 years.
Oh, do you consider caffeine a drug? Oh, I was just talking about the hard stuff. if caffeine. But I think Winston Churchill said he feels bad for sober people because when they wake up, that's the best they're going to feel all day. And that makes a lot of sense to me. Like you just feel the same all the time. Oh God.
Was that him or Abraham Lincoln?
I think that might have been. It was either Abraham Lincoln, Churchill, or Jesus. It was one of those three. I can't.
Maybe all three.
It could have been. But listen, somebody saved National Sobriety Day. What's that?
First miracle was wine.
That's true, baby. His blood alcohol level was unbelievable. So it's National Sober Day. But it's also somebody at the headquarters wasn't paying attention because it's also National Rosé Tequila Day. So,
oh wow,
that's better. That's a lot better.
That sounds very planned. That's
yeah. Leave it to Eric to always find the silver lining,
or the rosé lining in this case.
That's right.
Day. I didn't even know there was rose tequila.
I didn't know that either, but evidently it's tequila that's aged in wine barrels.
Someone in marketing deserves a raise or a PR, perhaps.
I know.
How do we get a day? I think we should have a national Eric and Rodney watch viewing day party day.
I like that. You know, that should be every day, don't you think?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know what you're saying about the marketing here, but I would argue that they should be fired because if I knew that there was tequila that was aged in wine barrels, I would be drinking it. But I didn't know until I looked up that it was National Sober Day, and I had to,
This is amazing. You like introduced me to a new. I never knew this was like.
Eric is onto something. Can I tell you something? You know what? I've been watching a lot of Sherlock Holmes. I don't know if you've seen it before. The one with Benadryl Cabbage Patch. It's amazing. But little known fact here, right? I bet you that LinkedIn, the people that are running this show here, hired the same team that LinkedIn used to launch LinkedIn Live because we never heard of it.
No, I know. As soon as we did, we started a show.
Yeah.
Even now, when I say about it, people are like, "Is that new?" No, it's been around since 2019. No one's heard of it.
Oh, because of COVID. Oh, everyone disappeared.
Yeah.
Which day has more shares? Is it the sobriety day or the tequila day?
Oh, that's a good question. Oh, I bet it's going to be
sobriety day.
Boo! 866.
Nice.
Man,
surprising.
All right. Go for those who are pulling.
Yeah, these are the dorks who share.
So I'm assuming the people do not like tequila and wine. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes. And who doesn't like tequila and wine? Real quick, though, did you just call Benedict Cumberbatch Benadryl Cabbage Patch?
Yes. That's his name, isn't it?
I think so. Anyway,
I celebrate his catalog.
It's a great show. He's great.
He's great.
Yes.
One of the best Sherlock Holmes. Can we get sponsored by a Rose Tequila Company, maybe? Nobody knows what it is, but it sounds delightful.
Well, if they sponsor us, they'll never find it.
That's
So
true.
their secret will be saved.
It must be new. It must be new. I've never heard that before.
It has to
Have
be.
you guys ever heard that joke? Right? If you want to keep a secret, send it as a Facebook invite.
Nobody reads that.
That's a good one. I like that
You
one.
want to bury a body? Where does it go? To second page of Google.
That's right. That's right.
I'm on fire today, guys.
You are, I know.
Renewal season.
Yeah. That coffee.
Yeah, it's my 5th or 6th jugs. Pretty soon I'm gonna have it just put right into my arm.
I cried 5 minutes into the show. It's an emotional time. All right. So do you want to go to the news?
Wait, can you IV caffeine? I'm curious. It's possible, probably, right?
Why would you? If you're gonna shoot something, shoot something hard, shoot something real. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Drink your coffee.
Yeah. That's right.
Amateur hour. Okay, so as of yesterday, there was this psycho on the loose in Pennsylvania, and it was actually close to Paul. So he stabbed his
Didn't
girlfriend.
Paul find him?
Paul
Said he found the guy. Yeah. Go on. Sorry.
So I just got to say, like, this manhunt looks like he had SEAL Team 6 on his back. And this guy they couldn't catch this guy because he's like 5 feet. He doesn't wear any shoes and he's extremely athletic.
He's 5 foot. What?
Very small
I
man.
think so. So anyways, it finally took a good boy named Yoda, a 4-year-old German Shepherd, to get this sick up.
There he is. There's a good boy.
What is
There's
his name? Yoda?
Yoda.
I like it.
Can I just
He's a
say
very
this is
handsome
another
boy.
reason? This is another reason not to like dogs. They work for the cops. They're fucking narcs. You've never seen a cat on the Fed payroll. He's just chasing people.
Let me ask a question because hold on, I know Eric's got some commentary, but I just have a quick question because I never read the stories. Here's my question. So the cops are crediting this with them because it sounds to me like Yoda here did the work.
Yoda did all the
He
work.
raided the cops for like. So let me make sure I understand this correctly. He evaded the prison guards and somehow got out of prison doing a crip walk or a crab walk or something.
Crab walk. He crab walked up the wall. Went through
Okay,
the
because I was
razor
thinking
wire.
crip walk didn't make a lot of sense, but yeah, whatever. Somehow or another got loose and the dog found him. They were like, you know what? Let's try the German Shepherd. That would have been my go-to, guys.
Yeah. Now keep in mind, after he crab walked off the wall, went through razor wire, was hiding out, then he walked into a garage, stole a rifle. The owner of the garage had a pistol, shot 7 times, didn't make it, didn't hit him. So then they finally found him. Wow. When they found him, he was sleeping on his rifle. But they sent the dog after him because Yoda is what they call a bite and hold dog, meaning that it just bites your head. In this case, it bit his head, his scalp, and held him down until the cops came.
What? That's insane. That's the real photo. This is the real photo.
So he was in the woods sleeping on his rifle when Yoda right here bit his head. But look, this just goes to show you that Eagles fans suck. Like, look at this. Eagles fans are the worst people in the world.
Like, a good optic here. They got a maybe.
Wait on a second. Are these guys cops? These guys look like
they look pretty
some
like
kind of special stuff.
Yeah.
I thought they were
Border
SEAL Team
Patrol.
6.
Look at that. Border Patrol.
I saw an officer of the law yesterday, and as he was getting a dozen donuts, he did not resemble these guys.
No.
These guys look like special ops here.
Yeah. But like Border Patrol, they're in Pennsylvania. What fucking border are they blocking? You know, do they got up from the south? Like, what's happening here? I don't know.
Things at the border have been fixed. Didn't you hear?
Oh no,
he's up here now handling the business.
They're fine now. Everything's cool at the border. Oh, thank God. Yeah, man, this is
this is a wild manhunt for like stabbing one person, right? I'd imagine
he stabbed a guy.
Serious.
He stabbed.
No, if you escape prison here in America, we go crazy.
Yeah. So he's in prison for killing his ex-girlfriend. He killed his ex-girlfriend because she know that he killed a guy in Brazil.
Oh my God.
I solved this yesterday, Alex. You weren't here, but I solved this. Here's how you solve all of it. She says, I know you killed someone in Brazil. You know what you say to her? We ain't in Brazil anymore, baby.
That's right.
Get at me.
No,
I don't have to kill her.
Yeah.
Because we ain't going to Brazil.
Yeah.
You can stop the killing. Sure. Or just don't tell her that you killed a guy in Brazil. You live happily ever after. There's a lot of options here.
That's why Eric's name's first.
That's crazy.
I'm thinking just quick. Eric is long term. You don't even need to kill anybody. Just don't say anything. Even better idea.
If you kill somebody, just keep it quiet. That's all you have to do.
That's sound advice.
That's a quote from either Churchill, Lincoln, or Jesus, and I'm not sure.
Margaret Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher.
No,
Or Margaret Thatcher. Mother Teresa.
Or George W.
It could have been him.
It was probably J Dubs. Yeah,
that sounds about right.
J Dubs.
J Dubs. All right. So what do we get next in the old news? I think
on the old news bag.
Okay, this one's kind of interesting. So I got to say, like, the last time Germany got involved in advanced warfare, it didn't really end so well. So that's just a pretense. If it happens, you heard it here on the Eric and Rodney show first.
That's right.
It's pretty cool what they're doing though. So they're dubbing it the military metaverse, and it's a virtual battlefield simulation, which is going to be used to calculate outcomes, planning, and decision making. So like the goal, I think, is to use AI to plan out skirmishes and to give teams intelligence and to win them before they even started.
Oh my god,
it's pretty cool.
It's to your point, I thought my first thought was I have a hard time trusting the German military. Listen, World War II ended in 1945. That's less than 100 years ago. Like, it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
Here's my issue. I'm not really worried about the German army. What I am worried about is they're teaching AI how to play war games.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Military strategy.
That sounds like a good name for a movie.
Yeah, or like a concept. Hollywood movies.
Maybe this kid like finds this AI program and it's called War Games, right? It was a real movie.
Right. Edward, what's that guy's name? Thomas C. Hall, I believe he was in that one, wasn't he?
That sounds.
Remember Cloak and Dagger? That was a favorite of mine.
So all of these like fun movies in the 80s and 90s, they're actually happening. Terminator.
They're remaking them.
Yeah, I was going to say after War Games, where we have to send somebody back from the future to stop the robot uprising.
Hopefully, we can get Back to the Future. Maybe that can be a possibility.
It's going to have to be.
Black guy. I got to be honest. When I first heard the article, I thought these people were playing video games. I was confused.
No. This is the German army, which I got to say, they don't strike fear in me the way the Nazis did. They've fallen from grace, I think.
They look a lot like the American army.
Well, to your point, Rodney, they are kind of playing video games to do it in real life. So like, it's the first time that video games are going to entice violence.
Exactly.
You know what would be amazing is if they could just move the whole war into the game.
Yeah, then nobody dies.
No one dies.
That's a great. You know what? We're solving problems here today. I hope Joe Biden's watching. Joe, we've got 3 or 4 things already sorted for you. Yeah. Write it down for Joe.
Do you think in the future it's just going to be Halo? Whoever wins at Halo,
that would be incredible, right? And then I lost, you know.
We'll wake up in the morning and it'll be like Silent Skies.
And they could still get badges and awards for like their battles, even if they lost.
Yeah. Be like Vladimir Putin and Zelensky are currently playing fiddlesticks. Right. It's 2-2.
Yeah. This is good news for Robin, though. And listen, I know, Alex, I've watched your stuff.
Where are you going with this?
You'll hear it. We don't want to stereotype, but I will say this. I've watched esports. The Asians are very good. So if it gets to Halo, Robin, you guys are gonna run the world.
You got that? Okay, I see. So we'll have to put in some like some rules to kind of make it somewhat even.
We're gonna need a handicap.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'll say this about this article too, which sort of fascinated me. I scrolled down. So there's a thing I do every time there's a Fox News article. I read the comments to see how quickly they blame the liberals for whatever problem that they're reporting on. It's usually very quick. But what I found interesting about this is a German Puma infantry fighting vehicle, they're saying. And then the war nerds argued, they go, that's not a Puma. It's too thin. It's a Jaguar. And this is what concerns me about the right. They love military history to the point where they're arguing about German tanks. If there's another civil war, we have no chance. We have no chance.
Yeah. They get hung up on that one thing.
Yeah, but they just love war so much that they know what different tanks look like. I don't know the difference between.
I mean, I got to be honest. That one looks like a leopard to me, but I'm just, I kind of really measure it and stuff. But that looks like a leopard.
Got one in the flesh.
Maybe a camel.
Right. It's definitely one of those 3 animals. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, gotta be.
Yeah. What if also like instead of soldiers sending in people, maybe they sent in the like robots and the country with the most robots left like wins.
Whatever the scenario where I don't have to die, that's what I want. That's like
what if we did rock, paper, scissors? So we put everybody up on a screen and it's rock, paper, scissors to the end.
That's better than this, I think. I'd rather watch that than dorks play Halo with some first person shooter, right?
What if they had a skateboarding?
Ruining my chances.
right?
finger
Like
skateboarding,
yesterday, the finger skateboarding.
air guitar championships. We can settle on the dance floor. We can settle
Hobby
this.
horse.
Do you know how like some of these like native nations fought wars, how they settled those wars?
No, but I'd like to know.
It's amazing, but kind of sad too. But it was like if there was like a conflict, right, where between two nations, they're fighting over boundary rights or something, right? It would be the chiefs that would meet on a butte. These are like Plains Indians. They would meet on a butte and fight it to the death. And whichever chief was left alive, that's the one that they would, okay, it's
That
settled.
makes sense. That makes sense because what happens now is old rich white guys start wars and then everyone else dies. Those two old rich white guys were
These
taking
leaders, our leaders today, they don't take any responsibility. They have nothing to lose.
No,
They just
exactly.
kill everyone else's lives.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
this
like,
is-
I worry a little bit about putting Joe Biden in a cage match. To be honest, with you. I don't think we
That's a
fare
good-
pretty
that's a
well.
good point.
But
Oh,
if we
yeah.
put, hold on a
Oh,
second now,
man.
think about it. If we put
Well, that's like
Zelensky.
badass, right? Two
Yeah.
leaders
right
going at it.
into a cage with Vlad, I think Vlad would take it. We
I
should
think
settle
Vlad
it on the pickleball courts. We
Former
absolutely
KGB
should.
agent.
And by
Yeah.
the way, the chief that would die, they would be like everyone would honor him, both sides.
That's well, yeah.
There's no shame. It was like, oh, okay, they
Like
And
got
so
it out.
Andrews
you
after a
could just
football
inherit
game,
everything.
right?
Yeah, it's amazing. I was like, wow, and I had to get to a real extreme point, obviously, to get to that. But like, I just think about it today with our leadership. It's just like they don't have anything to lose. Everyone else is a pawn. Everyone else goes first. Everyone protects the person, or like what we're dealing with today, right, with Trump and all that.
Sounds like you're talking about politics.
Yeah, I shouldn't.
We love politics around here.
I like going back, like Obama versus Mitt Romney. I think Obama would have beat his ass.
Mitt Romney is retiring. Did you hear the news?
That would be. That would be. I like that one. Yeah, they
watched
look both in pretty good fit. You know,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Romney
Did
seems
you-
like he's pretty strong.
Romney's retiring.
Obama with his
Did you hear the
movie.
news?
yeah, I did hear.
Yeah.
He doesn't
he's-
want
he's
Obama to
moving
beat
on.
his ass. He's heard we're heading in this direction, so he's nervous.
He said he's going to get a real job.
Oh man, we should. With AI stuff, all that fake AI, we
Oh,
should
yeah.
like replace, like do a little AI battle. You know,
I agree. Like
face it in a ring, see which one goes.
Like a rap battle.
yes.
All right.
We could have, you know what we could do? We could have Mitch McConnell and Joe Biden have a stare off.
You see, this is what we need to have, right? If we had more of this, I think we got to
Put both their chairs right up
I
to
agree
each
with you.
other and
No,
you
don't take
say
it
whoever
so
blinks
serious.
first loses.
Listen, Alex, hear me out. If only we knew a filmmaker. Hmm?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
We got to laugh more. Don't take it so serious. Let's see
I
Mitch
agree with you.
McConnell fight. Yeah.
Mitch McConnell versus Joe Biden would be a
versus
better
Joe
fight than
Biden. That'd be epic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Who will
Stare downs are
Yeah.
also going to be very one-sided for the Asians because you can't
Like,
tell if they're both
literally?
here.
It could be like which one will stay standing. Like they don't even have to hit each other.
Mm.
Let's just see which
Here's
one.
one. Here's one. Which one will shit their pants first?
Wait.
Okay, I'm
does
on
the person
Team
who
Joe
shits
for
their
me.
Pants first win, or does the person who shits their pants first lose?
that would. That's true. That's a good point. See,
Yeah.
we have to
So do
define the rules here.
Yeah. Which we will later in the Eric and Rodney show.
How many
We're ever
hamburgers
gonna get to
can
Alex.
they eat?
Man, this is super entertaining. I mean, you just came up with like 5 ideas that would go viral. So,
Well, listen, this is what we do.
That's it. That's all we do.
Yeah. See, so just to let you know, Alex, Jennifer is very tuned into when our guests are obviously scared and regret their decision doing the show, and it's happened twice in the last week. But you seem fine, which is nice.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
no.
morning, Jennifer.
You're rolling with it.
Thanks for joining.
Do we have anything else about the Germans? No, I think that's it.
No,
right? Okay.
not so much.
Okay. What's next?
Nil.
What was that?
Nine.
Do you
Preface
guys
first.
watch
Does
Parks and
anyone
Rec?
still
Do you
vape?
guys watch Parks and Rec?
Yeah.
I think there was like some line where what's his name? Chris Pratt's like, the Germans have never done anything bad, like in movies, right? In movies, they're always like,
No, their hands are clean. The Germans are
Yeah.
fine. We don't have to worry about them at all. All right, what do we got next? Oh yeah, this stupid story.
Yeah. So I really thought vaping was going to die after a few months when it came out, but they keep making them, and it's more popular than ever. Does anyone vape here?
I don't.
Occasionally.
Not tobacco.
No, not tobacco. No.
Yeah. Rodney does a fair amount of vaping, but it ain't this shit.
Elf bar. I don't use I don't even understand.
Hey, there's some Pokemon cards. What edition is that?
Yeah, exactly. So this is the point of contention, is that they're appealing to teenagers, and I was like, are they? But then they put it next to the Pokemon. You go, all right.
Wow,
But like,
they totally are. Yeah.
they
Wait,
interviewed a
teenagers are
16-year-old.
collecting Pokemons.
Marshmallows.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh yeah, the marshmallow. Yeah. So they said they interviewed a 16-year-old and they asked what his favorite flavor was, and he said apricot. Like,
Wow.
apricot.
It's nuts.
Yeah, it's terrible taste.
Yeah.
I know.
Uh,
So France, the story here is that France is going to ban disposable vape cartridges, not reusable vape cartridges, but disposable vape cartridges, because they said in Europe, 1 million of these are thrown away every day, and they have lithium batteries in them, and they're plastic, and it's bad for the
wow. Holy cow.
I know.
Have these guys ever
Also-
considered smoking?
Well, that's what I was. France is famous.
Right.
Like in France, everyone smokes. Why don't you smoke tobacco like a
You know
regular?
what, Rodney? That was
Yeah.
brilliant. That's where we
Yeah.
are today, right? It's
Yeah.
like smoking is now our friend. It's like
It's like all these streaming services.
no, we
One
need
of
to
my
have them
friends
go
the
back
other
to
day.
cigarettes. Go back to cigarettes.
Yeah,
my
it's like
friend
smoking.
said the other day,
Decomposed as well. Yeah.
and he was like, you know,
Right.
he told me he spends like $300 a month on all these subscriptions. I said, have you thought about getting cable?
It's true though. Like smoking used to be cool, and now it smells like strawberry shortcake. Like it's just conceptually weird, right? I don't. It used to be James Dean with a cigarette dangling, and now it's some dork blowing Hughes.
Oh my gosh.
No, it's Sam Bankman-Fried
Yeah, exactly.
That's
or whatever,
incredible.
Bank-Friedman, whatever his name is.
Now I'm behind the vape game. I'm totally behind. What's going on with these vapes? So they got all these like lithium batteries and stuff, but there must be something else going on, right?
It's just
Well,
it's tobacco, which is
But the worst part of it is it's sick because the tobacco industry is like targeting kids that are from 12 to 16, and they're saying it's okay to
Wow.
develop a nicotine addiction.
And it
Right.
seems
That's
like
the
really
main
cool.
problem.
Like they get their little. I've
Exactly.
seen them around, and they're usually with young folks. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it sounds
Well-
like it's like young people who don't want to have that plume of smoke.
I think too, like we made it hard to advertise. Like used to have the Marlboro Man, and like every Hollywood star smoked, and smoking was cool. And then they did away with that, so they had to find something else that was cool. And I guess it's apricot flavored puffs of smoke.
Yeah. That's crazy. Wow.
But kids these days,
Disappointing.
you can do real drugs. You don't have to do this shit. Like
Well-
this real drug, like weed is legal. Why don't you just?
What is
Yeah.
elf? What is elf bar? What I don't understand. Make it elf? What is this?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, you know
I
what I
think
don't
it's a
understand
vape
is who in the
brands.
world is still looking for Pokemon cards? Haven't they heard of NFTs? What in the world's going on around here?
Yeah, it's the NFTs. That's what the kids are into these days.
Wow. I don't even understand the phrase. Make it elf. Enjoy yourself. Is that the brand?
Oh, I don't know.
Brand
It has
called
to be, right?
Probably.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not.
Where
I'm
do you
out.
even
man. I
see
don't-
that at? I don't even see that.
It's over there by the $8.99 on the top. Make it
Yeah.
elf. Enjoy yourself. It's like
How
a
do you
little.
read that?
Oh,
Man,
oh,
you gotta
man,
do
your
that.
eyes are incredible. Wow.
Yeah, I got some great prescriptions. Extra. They help me zoom in a little more.
Holy shit! I mean, these do look
Wowzers.
delightful. I don't like smoking.
Honest, they're $8.99. That seems, how much is a pack of cigarettes? $15, $20 now?
Well, this is €8.99, which I would imagine that's
Probably
that's
similar.
A
more.
little more expensive
More.
yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but 3 puffs at $24.99. That sounds like a lot. Or is that $24 and then a scorpion and then $99?
I'm,
Is that a, what's that symbol?
Right.
yeah, that's definitely. It's
Is that a
either the
Nordic
scorpion
boat?
or the euro.
The scorpion. I'm like, where
I
is
got
the scorpion
$24
coming
and a
in?
scorpion.
You literally mean the dollar sign?
Elf must be the brand. Yeah.
Is
I
this
heard
now?
one-
This is in Queens, or is this in the
Queens,
city?
yeah.
This
Brooklyn.
looks like New York City.
I love it, Rodney. When you go to Europe, you're like, how many scorpions is this?
I don't have any on me, but I can get some. Where y'all sell them at?
What's the scorpion to dollar ratio in this country? Jesus Christ. All right. What else do we got? We have 2 more to cover in 6 minutes.
This one's kind of funny. So we know gangs are never the type to fuck around. So it goes to show that no matter what you do, even if you die, you're still not winning the war on drugs. So like if you're in this business, you still can't be cut some slack. So we talked about Los Lobos, which is a group that killed like this presidential candidate in Ecuador.
Wow.
This is the same group that apparently is a culprit for stealing a rival gang member's dead corpse from the grave. I'm not really sure the motivation, but I mean, there's not much to it.
I thought
like
Los
how-
Lobos sang heaven. I'm
No.
sorry. That's not the
Hold
same
on,
guys.
before we get to this, Jenny Winnie has done some Oh, there you go.
Methods are a person with the most premium materials that produce bold, pure taste. Interesting.
So if you're
What is that?
going to
Yeah.
vape, go with Elf Bar because it's evidently organic, good for you.
Yeah,
Still
put
vape, though.
throw all the buzzwords in there, right?
Is
They
it
get-
gluten free?
I bet it is. Gluten free, sugar free,
Sounds like
Because I like extra gluten.
No lactose. Oh, I love gluten so much.
dairy free.
Delicious. Robin, I like how you said this is a funny
It
story.
might even say vegan on it.
It has to say vegan, right? But these kids aren't going to smoke carnivorous vapes.
Yeah.
Now, who is this diabetic gentleman?
Well, as Robin said, it's pretty funny. This is a gang leader who was murdered, and then they stole his corpse, which seems cruel.
It's funny.
I wonder if it was for the necklace and the rings.
I don't know. This is him. This is him in happier
It
times.
was definitely the jewelry.
Yeah. So this is the Ecuadorian drug kingpin. I think he was 7 in command. They tried to kill him in Colombia. He fled. Oh no, I'm sorry. They tried to kill him in Ecuador. He fled to Colombia, where they finally got him. But they really wanted him dead because that wasn't the first assassination attempt. When he was in prison, a rival gang flew drones laden with explosives over the prison wing where he was being housed and bombed the prison.
Wow.
So they really wanted this fucking guy
He must
dead.
have been one hell of a drug dealer. My goodness.
And he
What-
lived that. He lived through that.
He survived two assassination attempts. Outside of that, he survived the bombing in the prison, but they finally got him.
Wow.
I know.
I have
I
a
heard
question.
he got-
How did they know he was 7th? Is there a list?
There's a list.
Because
No,
number
there's
6 is
probably-
probably like, Jesus Christ, they got Escobar. I'm
Yeah.
next.
Now, if you hold on to this photo real quick, this is really fascinating. If you flip his head around, his little goatee looks like the Tesla symbol.
Tesla logo, yeah.
You're
Good point.
right.
Maybe that's what it is.
He,
This
he's
guy-
subconsciously advertising for Tesla.
I bet he worked for Tesla.
No, absolutely. He was 7th in command at Tesla, I believe, as well.
But here's the
Oh.
question: no one has answered. How do you know he was 7th? Like, is there a list of the Colombian drug dealers? Because I guess got to be honest. If there's a list of the drug people that are in charge, has no one given this to the DEA? What is going on?
Wait,
My God,
correct me
here's
if
your
I'm wrong,
address,
but
phone number, guys.
What if their
I think-
lists don't align? Like, what if for the DEA he was like 18th?
Right, exactly.
Right,
Then it doesn't really
yeah.
matter. So
yeah.
they speculate that his bodyguard killed him for the large amount of money that he was carrying with him when he fled. Supposedly, was it 10 million that he was carrying with him? He had an unbelievable amount of money in a bag.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
a lot of money.
It was kind of
Well-
like one of those classic moral moments of like, it's $10 million, but I got to kill a guy.
Yeah, but it's like it seems like the authorities treat this the way we treat hookers in the United States. No arrests have been made. Like if you kill a guy in a gang, they're like, yeah, all right,
Yeah,
So-
or presidents,
exactly.
Or like a school shooting,
it's hard to
or,
get involved.
right?
or government
Yeah.
officials, or
Thoughts and prayers.
corporate, what is it, CEOs? I was going to say SEOs.
SEOs, CEOs, all of them you can kill. Nobody gives a
Everybody
shit.
that has the EO in their name, get out of here.
It's a great time to be alive if you're like morally corrupt.
Oh, absolutely.
Like there's
Well, if you're the
Unless
if
you're
you're
a drug dealer in
bodyguard-
Colombia.
yeah, if you're the bodyguard for a murderous gang, then you probably have some moral issues that you've buried. You know, you're like, yeah, you're post morality, I would say.
yeah, they look
I-
pretty happy though.
They do. I mean, he was having a great time wherever this was.
Mm.
Here's the problem in Ecuador. So the gang that he's in charge of, I'm going to butcher this, Los Choneros, Choneros, maybe. Anyway,
Mhm.
so the police force did a decent job. They arrested a whole bunch of them. But then what happened was they formed the country's largest prison gang. So like if that's blowback you don't expect.
Oh,
The
man.
rest
We formed
They
a
should have
prison
seen that
gang?
coming.
Yeah, right.
Can't win the war on drugs, man.
Wow.
No, you can't. That's exactly right. No matter how many drug
Yeah.
dealers you arrest, they're just going to deal drugs from prison. So what the fuck do you do?
You know what you
can't-
do, Alex? I'm going to tell you. I've already solved this problem.
What
We
do
send
you-
them off to Ukraine along with the pedophiles
you know,
and the child herders and the animal abusers. They go right on down to Ukraine without any weapons, and we tell them,
well,
God be with
without
you.
weapons. You know, I feel
yeah,
like
yeah, no weapons.
I know, you know, you make an interesting point, Ronnie. I think this has been done before. I think they were sent to Australia.
Oh, right.
Well,
That
look how
worked
that
out
turned
for
out.
him.
We're going to do it differently, though. They get to watch a full day of all my favorite MacGyver episodes, so they have a chance when they get over there.
So
They
they
can
can kinda
MacGyver up
like-
some tanks or something. A
you
weapon.
kinda
I don't know.
leave-
Listen.
you leave
Yeah.
pieces of weapons, and they kind of
Mhm.
have to like figure it
right.
out like MacGyver.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I like that. Man, Rodney, you've solved a lot of problems. I do want to get to
Yeah.
Alex, but this last story, I do want everybody's take on this. Can we do this real quick?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
let's do it.
Of
Okay.
course. This is the shaman guy, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. This one is a lot, so be prepared.
Uh-oh.
It's
All right.
Duke Verrett is officially the international man of mystery. So he's a self-professed shaman who claims he was risen from the dead. Number
Mhm.
one,
Yeah.
he predicted 9/11. Number two, he sold medallions online that convincingly ward off COVID-19. And well, he's done it again. He's married the Princess of Norway.
What?
Yeah, so the Princess of Norway has relinquished her duties to help her shaman boyfriend, who's an American, by the way, run his alternative medicine website.
Wow. What a
So a woman born into wild wealth who has to do nothing for the rest of her life is giving this all up for an American shaman who sells crystals. She's running a Shopify site. She used to be a princess, and now she's got an e-com site.
Maybe
I have a
she's
question.
doing more now than she did when she was a prince. Maybe there's a little purpose here, purpose-driven life.
I'm
I
sure
have
he's
a question.
doing all right. Yeah.
Why are either of them working?
Well, because you don't think shamans? Yeah. Well, I'm not sure. That's a great.
I mean, let's
question.
be honest. He's not shaman in anything. My question is that if she's running Norway and he's her husband, I mean, why? are you trying to sell crystals?
Rodney. She relinquished her title to go work at the Shopify site to go sell
She's a
crystals.
moron. She's an
I
idiot.
know.
Although this
Yeah.
photo is amazing.
God.
Like if you look at that photo, look how happy
Yikes.
she is, and look how
Oh,
he's
she's-
hypnotizing her. He's like hypnotizing her, and look at the dude in the background. He's like, I can't believe this happened.
This picture is a lot to take in, isn't it?
Insane.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
But like, if
Hey,
you're
props to the
shaman
guy,
from-
though.
What's that?
Props to the guy.
No, he did great. He landed a princess pretending to be a shaman, for Christ's sakes. It's like Mormonism.
Yeah.
If your religion started in the United States, like the United States proper, like it's an American religion, probably isn't a real thing. If you're an American shaman, probably isn't the real thing. Don't you think?
Oh, interesting. What's his name?
Durek
Shaman.
Verret or Verrett. How you say that?
Amazing.
Here's the problem with being a shaman that you guys are not seeing. I'll
It does
explain
look
it.
like the snake in the Jungle Book.
Is that
Yeah, he's
there's no
totally.
university for shamanic.
Exactly.
Well,
You can't have a PhD in
No, you can't
shaman
give
work.
it- yeah,
I think
right.
you can. I'm pretty
Oh.
sure there's some university that has some
No.
kind of. No,
Trump University's out of business, Alex. Forget about it. That's no longer available. You're confused. They went under.
get a PhD in shamanism. I'm pretty sure, man. I'm pretty sure they transferred those credits over to some other like. Probably,
You know,
I bet it
some
went to
other
an Ivy League
accredited
school.
university.
Yeah, I bet it's at an Ivy League
Yeah.
school right now. They went from Trump University to an Ivy League school. You can get a degree in shamanism. I'm 100.
Or the University
Yeah.
of Phoenix. I'm sure you take a few online courses and you can be a shaman. But so this is the princess. I mean, who would have thought of centuries of royal inbreeding would lead to a chick that would give up her seat and
Hey, man.
on the throne to
She
run
seems
away?
pretty happy. We'll see how she does in the new cult.
She already had, great point. She had a previous cult. She started a school, speaking of Trump University, to learn how to talk to angels. So she's got a lot going on, this former princess of Norway.
Wait, there's
Royalty, man.
one last bizarre claim.
Yikes.
So this shaman, he also claims that cancer is a choice.
Here it
That's
is.
Pretty
It's a choice.
awful thing to
Cancer
say.
is famously a choice. All
Here
those-
it is. University of Metaphysics.
Oh shit! How much?
Earn a
found it.
metaphysical degree in shamanism, holistic health. Oh, it's real.
Where can we sign up? How much?
University of Metaphysics.com.
Well, that's not.
It's
That's
the Eric J.
I
Trump
told you, man.
Foundation.
It's a real thing.
Oh my god! What a time to be alive, huh?
Shamanism.
Okay,
Yeah, the great.
That's not at
awakening.
666 Park Avenue, is it?
I believe
The Kushner building.
it could be. Well, we'll
Wow.
find out. Listen, we'll put that in the show notes. But
I hope you look at it because it's like the trippiest imagery ever. I'm gonna put it in the chat.
Is it on
Please-
Gum
please
Road?
do. I am in.
Oh Lord, Udemy has a course as well.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know how to write in this chat, but
Sorry,
We don't know how to
There you go.
use
Free
this stuff either.
advertisement.
Don't
There you
even worry
go.
about it.
free advertisement. University of Metaphysics.
So by the end of the show, we're going to pick up 2 sponsors: Rose Tequila and Shaman University. Not bad.
Amazing.
All right,
Productive
Alex,
morning.
it's time to talk about you, my friend. Oh, very productive morning. Time to talk about Alex. Like I said, I did a deep dive last night. I wasn't sober, but like I said, usually I have to do a deep dive into CEOs of SaaS companies. But in this case, like you had some emotional shit, man.
Oh man.
Oh, So I don't know where to start, but your real
with his credit report or his school report. Like, what do you want to go with first?
I don't know. There's a lot to take in. Real quick though, your degree from Udemy, $20 to get a nice little shaman certificate.
Not bad.
Okay.
Nice.
You were a child actor. You worked with Chuck Norris because you were on Walker, Texas Ranger. You were in Jurassic Park 3. You were on the Ellen Show, right?
Oh wow, you're sharing all my blackmail in the public.
We like Chuck Norris, by the way.
Kid.
Well, this is.
And I used to love that show. Remember Six Pack? His partner.
Yeah.
All right, so tell us about your experience. Well, okay. Do you want to give us the whole origin story about where you started, where you are, why you're here? Because I think it's interesting.
Wow, that's a deep question. Why am I here? I think that's been asked from Socrates to every single vapor in the world.
I'm a philosopher.
Why am I here?
We all are.
Yeah. Well, man, that's funny you went that far. Well, I started as an actor when I was 8 years old. So I've been in the entertainment industry around it, for a long time. I was a professional actor for 15 years and then I love theater performance. My family, they're very athletic. My dad was a professional baseball player and multi-athlete, swimmer, all these things. And he jokes around, says that when I was born, he put a baseball in my hand. I don't know if that's true because that's a tiny hand to baseball. But, yeah, I think that's what he was envisioning for my future. And instead, when I was old enough to speak, I was like, I want to go into theater. So I think that was a huge, like, yin and yang moment. Like,
a lot of theater
totally
people also play baseball. They seem very opposed to each other.
So, but my parents are so beautiful and kind and loving, and they were like, "Let's do it. Let's support your dream." So they supported me, and I did a lot of theater as a kid, and eventually
I did a lot of theater as a kid too, so I get it.
Yeah, and I loved it. I had a great time. I loved it. I got, unfortunately, after like 15 years of being in it, I kept getting the same roles, and there were a lot of stereotypes, a lot of tropes, and I get it. Like, I know that those stories are told, and that's fine. But when they're only told in that way all the time, I got bored of it. I got tired of it, and I just felt like there's a lot more for representation reasons to tell more nuanced stories.
Yeah.
And so I ended up leaving the industry, and I didn't think I'd get back in it until later in life. It kind of came back, and was a creative director for a season for like 6 years as working in advertising and marketing. That brought me back into directing, storytelling, development, production. And then I was like, you know what, let me see if I could really do this. Cause I've always loved filmmaking and the filmmaking process. When I was a kid, I would like get popsicle sticks and cut out Oscars and put them on there. And when the Oscars would be on, I'd like pretend that my name was getting called for best director. So it was always there for since a young age. It was there for a while. And so I was like, let me see if I can really do it. And I made a short film with my wife. That's where we started Bravebird, right there. Whoop.
Very cool.
And we made this short film called Fantasy in D minor. And it was something that was on my mind for a while. And a lot of my content's heavy. I'm a very gregarious person, I think. But ironically, a lot of my work is very serious and very like deep and philosophical or theological or spiritual. And so my first film really wrestled with the different stages of grief with music. And so that was Fantasy in D minor, did well, showed all over the world.
This one, is this the one that you went to Cannes, whatever the fuck it is? Yeah. So you traveled across Europe?
Short film corner, traveled across Europe, screened at Oxford, and won Best International Short Film. I actually screened with Rosa, what's her name? Pike, Rosamund Pike. She's a great actress. And my film won Best International, hers won Best UK, and got to meet her. And she's a musician. I didn't know that she was a cellist, I believe. So it really resonated with her. So it was fun to meet Rosamund Pike, girl, a James Bond girl. It was like super cool person, really nice, kind. But yeah, this was like my proof of concept. Can I direct? Was like, yeah, I totally can. And that was the origin of Bravebird. Around the same time, I actually had a terrible experience with my employer, and I was pushed out, which is pretty normal. I think now that I've gone through this, and it's a pretty normal practice. But at the time, it was very, very devastating for me, and lost a lot of confidence, and it was kind of like trying to rebuild again, and really went into a cocooning stage. But it really helped me kind of identify the purpose of Bravebird, and what came out of that was beautiful, and it was really this idea of dignity, and trying to treat the crew, the colleagues, the team members with dignity, but also create stories with dignity. And so that was really the origins of Bravebird. So something that was really scary, and I didn't know if I'd get another, I didn't know what was going to happen. I lost 50%. Our household lost 50% of its income overnight, in a very unsavory way, which ended up working out in the end, because there are some laws in place, thankfully, employment laws. But in the moment when one's going through that mess, it sucks. And it affected my family and everything. Anyways, it did show me what not to do and how not to operate, and also like a greater purpose of why I should do this. And so since then, I've been working on depicting dignity. I kind of designed my own cinema language called Cinema Dignité. I'm a little bit of a film historian, and so there's been different movements throughout film history, and I felt like this was a very good one to really enter into this season of bringing shared humanity and dignity. And it's crazy times. We just went through the news, and it's just nuts what's going on in the world, and I hope that through my small little corner of my life and my community, I can try to bring some more transformative messaging. So it's a very niche market, very small market. I'm not in the entertainment industry proper, kind of like on the outskirts, but I'm doing great work. I love the stories I tell. I really focus now on BIPOC stories, so Black, Indigenous, and people of color communities, trying to bring more humanity to all different communities, whether they're diverse or immigrants, or I'm just trying to remind people of our shared humanity, and that we're a lot more similar than we.
So no Fast and Furious.
No, what? That's a good point. I mean, I
hate Fast and the Furious, by the way.
I may not do Fast and Furious, but I'm dying to do comedy. I want to do a good comedy, because I think I can do.
If you knew any funny guys, it would.
We know you can.
Yeah. I know I can do comedy. I know drama really well, and I think I want to mix those two. Do like a kind of smart,
If you had like two funny leading men that you could think of that could
in a
help you with
Filipino
such a project, and their helper. Just brainstorming. That had a show.
Rodney, you want to do a buddy cop comedy? I think we can pull off a buddy cop.
We totally got to do that, and we got to like bring you in like as you are, with your little podcast.
No,
like,
absolutely.
That's right.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
And then we stumble upon a crime somehow, and it's off to the races.
Only murders on the podcast.
Oh my gosh.
Now you talk a lot about dignity. Can you explain what having dignity is like? Because we don't have any. Is that fun? Is that something that can be learned?
What is it? Is it like love? What is dignity?
You explain it to me. I don't know. I didn't bring it to the table. I have no idea. Okay.
No,
you know what was striking, I thought, is we all know that stereotypes exist, but when I watched that reel that you did for Trace the Line, and you show your roles, and you're clearly, like, to your point, uneducated, a delinquent, this is who you're playing.
Yeah.
Right? And then you do like sort of a montage of Black people being portrayed a certain way, other brown people being even women are always portrayed. And then you say this really interesting thing. You say one demographic is telling all the stories.
Yeah.
And I always thought like writing a novel is so difficult because I could never write in a woman's voice. Not sexy. I just can't get there.
Yeah.
But then you brought it up with movies. And when you say one demographic is telling all the stories, it's white people, right? That are writing for Black and brown people and women. And we can speculate, but we clearly don't have the real shit, right?
Right.
And it's the same movies over and over and
over again. I mean, I can't wait for the next Marvel comic or whatever it's going to say.
I don't like none of that stuff either. I don't like none of it.
Yeah.
It's the same stuff. So I look at, there's a place for it. And I don't think it's wrong for, a certain demographic to tell another person's story. I'm just saying, like, hey, let's try to see what else we can do.
Yeah, broaden it a little bit.
Let's evolve it. Let's broaden it. Let's,
Let's get
you
some
know,
other people involved.
I want to be really like cautious too of like not demonizing one group and creating a straw man argument and just putting all the woes on that. It's too easy. I don't buy it. Like, I think this is a lot more nuanced and complex. I think there are structures in place. Don't get me wrong. And yes, the industry is overwhelmingly one demographic, one gender. But I do believe that there is a way to diversify it and make it more authentic and tell more stories and different narratives. And but you know, the way the industry operates, it's not designed for that. Really, it's designed to mitigate risk. And the belief is that this group mitigates that risk really well, and they can continue to turn a profit. And you know, I think we need to be bold and try some other options. There, you know, we might enter into a whole other like industry where there's billions or trillions to be made they're never explored because we just like this safe little corner, you know.
Yeah, it's an uphill battle too, because I think from the studio's perspective, you know, they want to play it safe, and even when they don't, like speaking of Marvel, there's a scene in the second Endgame. There's a scene in Endgame where all the girls, there's that girl power scene where all the female superheroes get together.
Oh, right.
Nerds lost their minds. So even when a major studio does a thing like, all right, we're going to give them 30 seconds.
It was like Forrest or something, or what was it?
Yeah, they were like, well, all the fucking comic book nerds hated it. Yeah, because it's like forcing wokeness on it. But I'm like, so even when major studios try this, they get pushback from the public. So it's not as if the public is begging for it. You know, it's just, it's a complicated issue.
No, you're right. I mean, and who is that audience? I mean, that's a big part of that question, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, there's always going to be an audience for those kinds of films, right? There's a fan of it, and I'm not against that. Like, if people want to watch the 300th Marvel movie that's coming out, fine, let it be. That's their thing. But I'm more of like, hey, there are so many stories to tell. Why do we keep telling them with this white savior trope? How come like the BIPOC characters can never be like the hero of their own story? They always need like this white intervention. The reality is that who is the audience? Like, who buys those tickets? And I think that's like a big question. And if the major, you know, investors of these films are, you know, one demographic, you know, they're going to make those films that cater to that audience.
Absolutely.
Right. So it's definitely complex of like, how do we introduce other ticket buyers into this environment to tell different stories?
Do you think there's room? So I think a big criticism of Hollywood today, aside from like the Marvel trope, is that everything is a blockbuster. And there's no, like, I don't think if Pulp Fiction were to get made today, I don't think it would see the theaters. Any of those Miramax movies, like I don't think Shawshank would have seen them. Like all these things that are
really, wow, that's like a legendary film.
I think so too, but it's low budget. I don't think you don't see low budget movies.
Not action based, like super eye catching.
Yeah.
Well, I just think everything today in the theaters is Disney, it's Pixar, Marvel, which is I guess all the same thing. But it has to be like these huge. It has to star The Rock.
Yeah, it has to be grandiose. I mean, this is what you're bringing up is far more complex than just an industry. I mean, I think that all of this is a reflection of who we are as a culture and a society, and I think grandiosity is like has become it's very toxic, one, and it's rampant. I mean, it's a really unfortunate time that we live in. There was a psychologist said recently, within the last 2 or 3 years, that narcissism is the secondhand smoking of our time.
Oh.
And so, you know, the media is going to reflect that.
Yeah. I think everyone has main character syndrome. And I think like it's a TikTok generation. You can do a thing, put a camera on yourself, get famous, and then you're the main character. But then you bring that to every aspect of your life and it's troublesome.
Yeah. I mean, who wants to? So, you know, the challenge and one of the challenges in our lives right now that I think is how do we avoid the trap of being soothed all the time? Like there are seasons for soothing, for rest and peace, to withdraw and nest or cocoon, but like it needs to lead one journey to courage, you know, to resilience, to actually address and to go through difficulty. And I think as a whole, our nation, our society, our culture, we just don't go through things. We avoid them, or we make it about us, or, you know, we don't like confrontation. We're always after some kind of pleasure or soothing, or, you know, it's a I culture. It's me culture.
We're a nation of hedonists, God damn it.
That's why it's an iPhone.
It's an iPhone. Yeah. So these are big things. Yeah. Sorry. Getting off.
Creators based on guaranteed. Yes, right. I know. I totally agree with
my
this.
idea. You know what? I had an idea years ago. I'm not suggesting it would work, but I had an idea where you get like if I had a studio, you take like 50 scripts, right? And you let people vote what you want us to make.
Yeah, that's called Indiana Jones.
There you go.
That's the thing, right? I think, didn't they do that? I think they did that. I think they were like, what kind of... But yeah,
Alex, I'm going to need you to get to major Hollywood studios and start introducing some ideas. All right. Can you just do that? Is there, who do we have to write? Email?
Can we email them?
I don't think that's going to happen, but that's okay.
Right.
I think that's
you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what we have to do is we have to make enough money to start our own studio.
There we go. And we call it the Eric and Rodney Studio with Robin.
And Bravebird / Bravebird.
You know what we call it? No, this is what we call it. The Academy Award winners.
The Academy Award winners.
I'll give you an example.
I like that.
I was in a pickleball tournament recently, and I deemed myself
always back to the pickleball
champions of the pickleball tournament. So when they said, "Can the team come up to the champions?" I said, "Here I am." They said, "What's your name, son?" I said, "First name greatest, last name ever. What's up? You got me in my own sheet."
You were really in a pickleball tournament?
Oh yeah, I love pickleball.
You look like you'd be good at pickleball. You look like the guy that would be like embarrassing people on the courts.
He's embarrassing 80-year-olds all across New York.
Usually seniors, yes.
Yeah. Well, actually, usually the people I embarrass are younger. The older people embarrass me. Because the guy was like, I've been playing this for 30 years. And then after he takes him 45 minutes, he gets out of the chair, puts everything together, and then he's like Neo in the Matrix.
This is sound advice. I believe Churchill, Jesus, or Lincoln also said that.
In a story, I was in a football tournament.
Yeah, it's true.
All right. Okay, so you studied cinema media arts, cinema history, and cinematography. Is this right?
That's right. Yeah, our film school. Yeah.
We discussed the greatest American film of all time, which is Billy Madison. Don't you think that was a cinematic masterpiece? Yes.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna go watch it. I'm so sorry. I've
never seen Billy Madison?
I've missed out.
It's the Citizen Kane of our generation.
Yes, I love it.
It's Adam Sandler. It's at his peak Sandler-ish.
You had me at Sandler-ish.
Oh my God. It's the greatest movie. Oh, it's the greatest Adam Sandler movie with fucking a bullet and a rocket. It's just the greatest.
Yeah, I feel
like every era he does that, right?
I've heard of it. I know the logo and all that. So I definitely got to watch it.
Yeah. Okay, go watch Billy Madison and report back to me. But since you were a cinemaphile, can you give us what are your top 5 movies?
Oh man, that's a great question, and that I'm not prepared for that. That's a hard question for a filmmaker. It's a very sensitive topic.
I think obviously Avengers Endgame, right? We all that was very
Godfather 2.
Godfather 2. That's a good one.
Forrest Gump.
That's hard. You know what?
You can get back to us.
I bypass that one. Yeah, I don't get into those. Those are controversial questions.
But I do think Shawshank and
Trump. Let's talk about Trump. Let's not talk about top.
Okay, so don't talk about movies or Trump.
What do I think Trump's top five movies are?
Yeah. Let's go back to something more normal. Shawshank would be, it's up there. I don't know if it's top 5, but yeah. The thing is, like, I watch weird films, man. You guys, like, I'm watching black and white films in different languages from different eras, and I'm sure I'm watching films that most people don't really like. So,
yeah. Well, you gotta listen. You're gonna love Billy Madison. I can tell already.
No, I know I'm gonna love Billy Madison, man. There's always a place.
I'm gonna tell you, it's a detour from Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems.
It is.
Like,
not quite.
Adam Sandler, totally different story. Yeah. Wow.
All right. Okay. A couple of things I want to touch on too. So you come from a marketing background, and you can kind of tell because I watched that Why I Love UW in the Pen Pals films that you made.
That was a long time ago. Yeah.
Instead of telling a straightforward, you should come to UW for whatever, you told a really heartfelt story. And I'm telling Rodney and Robin, if you have a couple bourbons on your couch at night and watch this, you're going to tear up. I wanted to sign up for UW after this. No, it was really
awesome.
Really
that's awesome. I got to tell Mike, I got to tell Alex G. That's probably the one you might have watched or one of the ones.
Yeah. I don't know how you found that story to advertise a college, but it was really
You know what was pretty interesting? That was the first time UW-Madison did a feature of a person of color.
Well, it's Wisconsin, right? There's
yeah, which I was shocked to hear that.
Was it the first time they had a person of color?
Well, that's
Also,
I got to be honest. I've been to
I
Madison,
don't know
Wisconsin,
how-
and I was like, wow, there's a lot of white people here.
I don't know how true that is, but like it's very little representation that they've done historically of spotlights. Now, granted, I don't know how many of these spotlights they've made. Maybe they haven't made many of these either. So I want to be, realistic about this. But they were like, we need to do something. We need to do something different. We need to show off our alumni and the amazing work they're doing, and we want to show Dr. G. So it actually came from the university. They were like, we want to show this story about Dr. G and Everett Mitchell. He's a judge now, Judge Everett Mitchell.
Yep.
I'm not sure which ones you watched. And then I also did a piece of
that one.
Gabriel, Everett Mitchell.
Yeah.
Judge Everett Mitchell. And then another one was a Gabriel Stolman, he was like a New York restaurateur, Esquire, featured on Esquire. He's got all these great restaurants in Greenwich Village, if you ever want to go check him out. But yeah, it was awesome. Cool. And just, telling their story. We don't have to like advertise the university, really. Just
but it made the university look good, so good, because he was homeless and he went to the university for help and they helped him out. Whoever did that acting he was great, man. That was really well done. Man. One more thing. So you say you want to do comedy. This is my idea. So I want Anthony Bourdain's job, which is great because he's dead. But I would like to with your cinematography, I think if you should take us on the road, and I know you want to tell stories. I think we should do take it on the road, go internationally, tell the stories of people in different countries, eat their food, and have a good time. What do you think? I think we'd win an Oscar.
Here's my pitch. Think of Tucker Carlson on X without Tucker and not on X.
Right.
What do you think?
And also in Italy.
Take it
on the road, baby. I think there's something there.
Yeah. And by the way, the actor, his name is Yao Dogby. I just was thinking about that. He's in New York now, I believe, and doing great stuff. So he went on to do great work himself as an actor. But
Great.
Very cool.
Another one, another thing there was an article, a blog that said something that you try to thread the line between art and activism. I think that's beautiful. I think art should have an element of activism or rebellion, or it shouldn't be so commercially viable. There needs to be some sort of edge. And I think your stuff.
Artism. It could be artism.
Artism. Ooh, that's not bad. Artism.
That's right.
May I use that, Rodney?
Yeah, of course.
That's our gift to you for being on the show. For wasting an hour of your time, you get artism out of it.
Yeah. Well, thanks for watching some of the work. Yeah, we're doing some great stuff. Working on some deep films. My skills evolved and really focusing on native stories, and so super excited to see what happens.
We have a guest. This is maybe the best idea I've ever
heard.
Love
that. A documentary on Eric's journey. Yes, we should follow.
I have another idea. Why we're talking about ideas is a documentary on my journey to professional pickleball.
Oh man, there's so many ideas
that would be
out this brainstorming session.
Think of it like Gary V, but without Gary V, just me.
Like you know Netflix. What is that? Breakpoint. What would the pickleball be? It would be like.
I already got it for you. Pickle Point starring Rod Steele. There it is. Got it done already.
Like that dynamic.
I'm on the cover with my paddle.
Yeah.
Will he make it? Will he not?
It could be like a Seinfeld episode. Hear me out. So you follow Rodney's journey to become a professional pickleballer, my journey to become a shaman, Robin's journey to become the biggest foot fetish model on the internet, and then at the end, they all
we all come together.
They all like
at the same Starbucks.
At the same Starbucks. Yeah, that'd be incredible.
Think about it. I know we've thrown a lot at you today, but I think this has legs.
There's an Oscar in there somewhere.
Yeah, like you all went after the same pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah, and all our hands touched at the same time, and we felt some sort of energy.
Who are you?
Who are you hypnotizing first?
Who are you hypnotizing first?
As a shaman.
That's a good.
I don't think shamans do that.
I'm gonna go the ayahuasca shaman. I want to. That's gonna be my gimmick. Yeah, I really want to hypnotize. I want to. So Vince Vaughn, you were with Vince Vaughn in Jurassic Park 3, right? So
or 2. Yeah.
Whatever it was.
Yeah. There's so many.
Is he a nice gentleman?
He's big.
He's hilarious. This is kind of a funny story. He stole my Game Gear.
Oh my God. Let's get him. Let's get him.
He is a fucking Republican, so they're very selfish.
You know, I had
he
this
stole your
game.
Game Gear?
I had this game on there, and he loved it. And he basically like, what is that? Commandeered it, or what's the word? Commandeered it. He commandeered it and was like, he played that game all during the flight and like took my game. My game gear.
Vince Vaughn can afford his own Game Gear.
Pure animal. Pure animal.
And here, this is pretty hilarious. Him and Jeff Goldblum, they could not stop. Like they were hilarious. They're hilarious people. I mean, just ridiculous. And it got to the point that it was costing the production on the scene. I was in this scene, and I saw Steven Spielberg lose his shit and like basically discipline them on set.
Alex, I gotta tell you, I think what you're doing is very dignified and very smart. But if I had a job where I got to see Steven Spielberg yell at Vince Vaughn,
it was incredible. It was incredible. The whole room, you could hear a pin drop, and you could see Vince Vaughn turn into like a little child of like, yes, okay, I'll do what you say. You know.
How did Jeff Goldblum handle it?
They both took it like that. They both were like, we better straighten our act up, and then they got the shot right away. You know, boom, done.
I bet Jeff said, "Have you heard of apartments.com?"
Like such a sweet guy. He's like a really nice guy, loves to be in the moment, loves the craft, has fun. Everyone loves him, right? Really respected. He's a legend.
So good in The Fly.
He's such a professional, you know, boom, boom, boom. So it really took, I don't think that was normal. I think that must have been like a moment that I got to capture, a little treasure.
As I was in a pickleball and I saw Steven.
I was in a pickleball and I seen Steven.
I saw Steven Spielberg.
Oh, you did not. All right, listen, Alex, we're already shut off on LinkedIn. It's a hard stop at the hour. Thank you very much. You were an unbelievable guest. Thank you for pontificating and playing around. That's all we ask of our guests, and you did very well. So do me a favor, stick around for 5 minutes in the green room, but I have to shut off the live stream.
Yeah, no worries.
Hi, America. We'll be back tomorrow. It's going to be great. I can feel it.
Bye.
Yeah.